Story, the modern lottery. In a small town, a deadly tradition lives on, and this year, a young girl vows to break it. Dare to hear this story to the end. It was a bright summer morning in the town of Pleasantville. The town square buzzed with activity as people gathered for the annual lottery. This year, though, a palpable tension hung in the air. Whispers of discontent rippled through the younger crowd. Emma, a 17-year-old senior in high school, stood with her friends near the edge of the square. Her mother, Tessie, was one of the town officials preparing the lottery. Emma had grown up knowing about the lottery, but only recently had she begun to question its purpose. The lottery was a long-standing tradition in Pleasantville, believed to bring luck and prosperity to the town. Each year, one person was chosen as the sacrifice, though in modern times, this sacrifice was symbolic, usually involving some form of community service or a monetary donation. But Emma and her friends had heard rumors that in the past, the sacrifice was real. They were determined to uncover the truth and end what they saw as an outdated, potentially dangerous tradition. As the lottery began, the town mayor, Mr. Summers, stood before the crowd, holding a box filled with slips of paper. Each slip bore a name, and the person whose name was drawn would be the sacrifice for that year. Emma watched her mother step forward as her name was called. Tessie approached, her face pale but resolute. Emma's heart sank. She knew her mother had always been a staunch supporter of the lottery, believing it was necessary for the town's prosperity. But Emma couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it. She'd spent the past few months researching the lottery's history and uncovered chilling facts. It seemed that in the town's early days, the sacrifice had been literal, a life taken by stoning at the hands of the townsfolk to ensure a bountiful harvest. Though the practice had been modernized, Emma feared the underlying belief lingered, that the town's prosperity depended on sacrifice, symbolic or not. As Tessie drew her slip, Emma held her breath. When her mother revealed it, the paper was blank, meaning she wasn't the sacrifice this year. Emma sighed in relief, but her resolve to end the lottery remained unshaken. That evening, Emma and her friends met in secret to discuss their plan. They decided to launch a campaign to educate the town about the lottery's dark history and advocate for its end. Over the next few weeks, they handed out flyers, held rallies, and even built a social media presence to spread their message. Their efforts met mixed reactions. Some townsfolk supported them, while others fiercely opposed, clinging to tradition. Emma's mother, Tessie, was among those against the campaign. She believed the lottery was a vital part of the town's identity and that abandoning it would bring bad luck. Despite the opposition, Emma and her friends pressed on. They gathered signatures for a petition to present to the town council, demanding the lottery's abolition. On the day of the council meeting, the square was packed once more, this time split between lottery supporters and those who wanted it gone. Emma stood before the council, her voice trembling but firm, as she presented the petition and made her case. She spoke of the lottery's origins and the harm it could still cause, even symbolically, by perpetuating fear and superstition. After a heated debate, the council agreed to hold a town-wide referendum on the lottery's future, scheduled for the next month. In the weeks leading up to the vote, both sides campaigned hard. Emma and her friends went door to door, while Tessie and the traditionalists held meetings to rally support for keeping the lottery. On referendum day, the town buzzed with anticipation again. As the votes were tallied, it became clear the youth's efforts had paid off. The majority voted to end the lottery. Emma and her friends celebrated their victory, though Emma couldn't hide a pang of sadness for her mother, who was devastated. Tessie believed that without the lottery, the town would falter. Time would tell whether Pleasantville's prosperity would endure without the lottery, but for now, Emma was proud of what she and her friends had achieved. They'd stood up against tradition and fought for change,